Good morning, folks. It's Anthony with Signature Roofing and Restoration. It's Friday morning, and we are out here in Williamstown today in Washington Township. Today is a special day because this is a project we've been working on with the homeowner very closely for about the better part of the last 3 months, and the day is finally here. So something we don't often do. Usually when I'm first speaking with you on a job or on a project, we've already torn off the roof, but we've taken some very special care and given some very specific attention to details today with regards to preparation and protection of the property. So we're just going to take a look at that because it's something we talk about but you don't often see. A lot of times we're cleaned up by the time we're coming to you via YouTube. So if you look, you'll just notice that this home, the architecture has the slopes east to west versus north to south. So where typically we would be throwing down to the front and the back, today we'll be throwing down mainly on either side. That makes things a lot easier. One of the things that we focus on is obviously the front of the home. It's the first place we clean up. We want to make sure that we have that point of entry clear for the homeowner to be able to come and go safely. And also just for appearance, always clean the front of the house first. So on a day like today, front of the house stays relatively clean. If you notice, you'll see this big box right here. And the reason why that looks so large is essentially what we've done to protect is just cut a sheet of plywood right in half. So you have about a 4x4 piece, much larger than the surface space of the top of the AC unit. And kind of, with the tarp branched over it, gives it that overhang effect to make sure nothing's going to come down on the unit. As would typically be the case, we have tarping down the side of the home and then also on the ground level as well. And you'll notice here these kind of TP style structures. The still photos with the projects will show that what we have here essentially are full sheets of plywood, both here and here, that we've set up essentially simply just to protect the beautiful landscaping that's there. He has some really nice plants that are, right in the ground. You can kind of see one of them peeking out here. So we want to make sure that we keep those intact. Again, we're almost right in the middle of the summer season. They look beautiful. We want to make sure they stay that way, for the rest of the summer. On this side, you can see we have the ground covered where we'll be throwing down from the garage. And then just as we get around to the back of the yard, there were a few details to pay attention to. The patio furniture that he has is really robust, good outdoor furniture. So this stuff will take a beating. We weren't really concerned about it, but there are glass tops, and rather be safe than to be sorry, we essentially just got everything off of the patio. You'll see these caps here with the screws so that they can be reassembled. What they were just essentially post lamps that were, fixed atop these posts throughout the perimeter of the deck. You can see that we have the entirety of the surface of the deck covered. We have the entirety of this back portion covered. You can see tarps are still folded here. That'll be about the last place that we start to tear off. So as they finish here and move over, those tarps will be moved over, and obviously the rest of the back of the home will be protected as well. Other than that, there weren't really any surprises today. For you project managers out there, definitely a real good idea, obviously, to take a good walk of the perimeter and document anything that could, potentially be damaged ahead of time. It's a good idea to let the homeowner know, say, hey, look, we came across this, just wanted to make sure, you were aware this was damaged, because obviously the homeowner is going to check out their property once you've gone. You don't want damage that had been there before you arrived to be noticed for the first time after you've gone. So take good photos of everything. And, in a circumstance where you know, it just couldn't be helped and something is damaged, you always want to be out in front of that, on the forefront. So you never want your homeowner to come to you and make you aware of damage. If you do a good enough job expressing that to, you know, everybody on your team, they'll know not to fear coming and telling you about the damage. They'll fear if they don't. We don't want to learn those things from the homeowner. We want to make the homeowner, you know, aware of those things as we're also delivering the, you know, the solution to that problem. So that's about it as far as the setup. As you can see, tear off has begun. So as these old shingles come down, we'll begin to get everything cleaned up. Next video probably, you know, be coming to you from the rooftop, obviously, to check out the surface of the roof deck. You know, not really many problems or many problem areas. You know, the roof is very hippie and a lot of ridges, but also, you know, only one vent pipe up there, so one pipe collar, and then you have the chimney on that side, but it's fixated along the outer perimeter of the wall, so you only have the inward wall of the chimney to address, you know, where it joins or meets the roof surface. So we'll take, you know, pay really good attention to those areas just to see if anything should be changed, change it, and then start getting new materials on. So stick with us and we'll be back with progress shortly.